Hello everyone, my name is SwingPoynt and welcome to Resident Evil Resistance. This is the multiplayer game bundled with Resident Evil 3. And today's video is going to be something that a lot of people have been asking for. It's going to be a card guide to tell you when cards are unlocked. When do I get these things? I heard about the lickers, when do I get them? I see the camera shield, how do I get it? This video here is going to talk about every mastermind, which means Annette, Daniel, Alex, and Oswald Spencer. And we're going to talk about when you unlock these cards, what they do, and a few things you may or may not know about some of these cards. Unlocking cards in this game follows a pattern. You unlock cards every single time you unlock a new mastermind, which is at level 5 for the previous mastermind. So if you have Annette, once you reach level 5, you get Daniel. And when you unlock Daniel, he gets a bunch of cards due to the fact you unlocked him. When you get Daniel to level 5, you unlock Alex, which means you unlock a bunch of cards because you just got Alex. And then when you get Alex to level 5, you unlock Spencer, so you get a bunch of cards because you unlocked Spencer. On top of that, you also unlock cards specifically to each mastermind at level 7, level 13, level 19, and level 25. So you can think of it as every 6 levels, 1 to 7, 7 to 13, 13 to 19, 19 to 25. And those cards are all shared amongst all the masterminds. So again, anytime you unlock a mastermind, level 7, level 13, level 19, level 25, all of those cards are shared. Now, there are also additional cards that you can unlock that are not shared. So in the case of Annette here, she unlocks the tough zombie berserker aura at 14, and she unlocks the concentrated enhancer at 19. Every single mastermind has a 14 and a 19 unlock. The card that you unlock at level 14 is only able to be used by that mastermind, and you can only start using it in your game once you reach area 2. The card at level 19 is only able to be used once you reach level 3 in the match, and it's only able to be used by that specific mastermind. Meaning that Spencer, Daniel, and Alex cannot use the tough zombie berserker aura, and they also cannot use the concentrated enhancers. Same with the card that comes default, the triple dogs on Annette, and then also the double detonator on Annette. Every single mastermind has these set of cards that are unique to them and only they can use them. And to get started with talking about every single card, we have something special planned for you. I'm going to bring in a couple of my content creator friends, iosefka and also SinowBeats, and they're going to talk about some of these masterminds for me. I'm going to cover Daniel and Alex. iosefka here is going to cover Annette coming right up, and then Sino is going to cover Spencer at the end. So without further introduction, here is iosefka handling Annette's cards.
Hey guys, iosefka here. Thank you so much, Swing, for having me as part of this awesome video with you and Sino. So I'm going to be covering Annette. Annette is the very first mastermind that you actually get access to in Resistance, so you do have to deal with her default deck until you reach rank 5. Then you can sort of play around with it. But for now, I'll give you a quick rundown of every card that you have. So I'm in practice mode right now with my wonderful friend Phobos. So I'm going to put down a couple of traps here. So Annette with her default deck has access to the leg hold trap and the landmine, which can be quite effective if you combine them with the crawling zombie. So I'm going to just put this leg hold trap down outside and cover it with the crawling zombie. Now, bearing in mind the crawling zombie actually doesn't cost anything, they're not that effective. They can grab survivors, you can control them, but I do like using them to cover up the mines here. So I'm going to get my friend to just come out and trigger that. And then she goes right into that leg hold trap. Also, with Annette's default deck, you do get access to the tough zombies. So I'm just going to spawn one right here. And you can control your zombie creatures. It's very effective. I think your tough zombie is definitely the strongest that you have access to from the get-go. So you can claw, you can swipe, and you can grab. So also with Annette's default deck, you do get access to the zombie dog. Now the zombie dog, they can be okay. I would suggest, if you can, using the berserker enhancer. Now what the berserker does is it makes them go a lot faster, and they're a bit more aggressive as well. Now with only one dog, they do just sort of act like that. They're a bit docile, they don't really attack. In groups though, they're super effective. I'll show you that in area 2. You also get access to the discount card. Now the discount card is actually really nice because what it does, it costs 1 point of bioenergy, but it reduces the cost of skills used through that one camera for a short period of time. So if I use this here, as you can see, the rifle, the zombie dog, the tough zombie have all been reduced by 1. You can keep doing this. Any new card you get in your hand will add to that. So it's really, really nice. It's a nice card. I still use it to this day in some of my builds. You also get access to the Quick Draw card, which removes all non-mod cards from your hand. So in this case, my entire hand is going to be reshuffled. Just like that. Alright, so in Area 2, you do gain access to the zombie dogs. Now you spawn 3 instead of 1, which it's better than 1. I'd still say these guys aren't the best, but berserked, they can be a bit of a nuisance. So I'll spawn them right here just to show you guys. And we'll get them berserked. Now, they can be pretty fast. I think the main focus of these guys is to just be a nuisance more than anything. But they can be aggressive. If you spawn them with a group of other zombies, they can be a nightmare to deal with. So now we're in Area 3, Annette actually gains access to 2 detonator zombies, both of which are controllable. They're quite fun to use, so I'll show you them in action right now. So we'll spawn them back here. We'll take over one of them.
I must fix this myself.
So these guys are really fast. They run, as you can see, they're pretty good. And their main function is to self-destruct. It's really good to disrupt a group of survivors if you can get it done. Let's see if this one actually aggroes. Is he gonna do it? Yeah. So yeah, the main thing is to disrupt the survivors with the detonators. They can be really fun to use. So I'll go ahead now and I'll show you the cards that she unlocks and we'll move on from there. Alright, so I'm just going to quickly go over everything Annette unlocks. So at rank 5, you gain access to the partially armored zombie as well as the ability to customize your first deck. At rank 7, you gain access to the detonator. Rank 13, you get the liquor. 19, you get the efficiency mod creatures, and 25, you get the energy booster creatures. So in addition to the cards you get by leveling up your masterminds, you do also gain access to area specific cards for that specific mastermind. So for example with Annette, at rank 14, instead of the zombie dogs, you gain access to the tough zombie with a berserker aura. This is actually a really interesting card, so I'll show you guys once we get to area 2. And at rank 19 with Annette, you gain access to the concentrated enhancer to use in area 3. This thing is one of my favorite things to use if you get them to area 3. What you do is you shoot a creature with it, they get berserked, they get regen, they get infection, and they get energy leech. You can get those 4 buffs individually. Obviously we do get the berserk with Annette's default deck. You do get regen, infection, and energy leech by leveling up the other mastermind, which the guys will cover. Alright guys, so real quick, I've just gone back into practice mode and I've spawned a couple of the cards that you do unlock with Annette. So the partially armored at rank 5, the detonator at rank 7, and my personal favorite, the liquor. You get the liquor at rank 13. Just gonna put him right here. So with the liquor, he normally costs 7 points. So I'd recommend if you do plan on using liquors with Annette, use her passive ability, the Zombie Apocalypse card, because if you use the creature efficiency with that, every creature that you spawn costs 1 less point, bringing down the liquor to 6 points. Combine that with the efficiency mod that you get at rank 19. It again lowers the cost of all creature cards in your hand by 1, bringing the liquor down even more to 5 points. Now I do have a liquor build on my channel. It is the liquor army build. It's a way to get 2-point liquors quite consistently. Even if you're lucky, you can get 1-point liquors. It just depends on what cards you roll in your hand. So yeah, do check that out if you're interested. So here you can see I've got the energy booster creature card in my hand. So what this does is it lowers the cost of creature cards in your hand by 2. Remember, it's only the cards in your hand. So we'll use that now. We got to liquor down to 3 points. So I've just gone to area 2 real quick and I just want to show you the tough zombie with the berserker aura. Now this is a really interesting card because what you can do is if you spawn this guy near another creature, he shares his enhance effects. So this guy already comes berserked, but you can give him infection, you give him regen, you could give him the leech, and he will share that with creatures nearby that you haven't buffed yet. So if you're trying to use this in a situation where you don't have time to buff everything, you just want to fill a room with zombies and get a tough zombie in there, he will share all his effects. So it's really nice to use in really clutch situations. I'll show you guys right now.
I will handle this myself.
So as you can see, because I'm next to this liquor, it has now got the berserker aura, but if I move away, it loses it. So you do have to be quite close, 3 or 4 meters or so. That seems to be what the range is with this thing for it to work. Let me move away again. And it's gone. So you do have to be quite close. But again, in small rooms, if you're going to fill it with zombies to try and overwhelm the survivors, try and get them to use all their resources, this is a really, really cool zombie to use. Alright guys, so we're in area 3 now, so I'm just going to quickly show you the concentrated enhancer, which again, at rank 19, you unlock with Annette. So I'll use the partially armored zombie as my guinea pig here, and we're going to shoot him once with the concentrated enhancer. As you can see, every single buff is on him right now. He's infected, he's got the energy leech, he's berserked, and he has the regen. That's what those 4 symbols there mean. So the concentrated enhancer is very, very good. It's if you want to quickly buff things up without going through all your separate cards. It's a really quick, efficient way to get a mob of zombies powered up to take down the survivors. So there you go, guys. That was a quick rundown of Annette and the cards that she unlocks currently. If you guys liked what you saw, feel free to check me out on Twitch. I do stream there 5 days a week on twitch.tv/iosefka. You can find me on Twitter and on YouTube, where I'm uploading Resident Evil Resistance videos as we speak. I do have a Liquor Army deck right now, so it's focusing on spawning expensive creatures, getting them buffed for super cheap. So if you're interested in that, do feel free to check out the YouTube channel. I'm going to pass you guys on to SwingPoynt, who's going to cover Daniel and Alex.
Thank you very much, Sefka, for covering Annette. At level 5, Annette unlocks Daniel. And like I said before, every time a new Mastermind is unlocked, they get a set of cards that everybody gets to use. So let's go over those first with Daniel. First, he gets the Tracker Mine, the Machine Gun, the Quick Draw, and the Partially Armored Zombie. The Tracker Mine is something that you can step on, and it causes 20% more damage to happen to all survivors. It's similar to when Mr. X uses Stalker, very similar effect. The Machine Gun, which is a camera-mounted gun, you've probably seen it if you've played the beta. It's the one that goes da-da-da-da-da-da-da and does 50 damage per shot. Quick Draw, Sefka covered, but I think technically Daniel unlocks this. But seeing as how you can't customize or do anything until Annette's level 5 anyway, doesn't really matter, but you know what Quick Draw does already. And then for the final default card is the Partially Armored Zombie. Some things to know about the Partially Armored Zombies. If you shoot them in the armor, you don't do any damage. They're partially armored, so they're not armored everywhere. The reason why that matters, though, is the partially armored part changes every time they spawn. It's all RNG based. Sometimes a leg's gonna be out, sometimes an arm's gonna be out, sometimes their head's gonna be out. Regardless of what's showing, their back is always vulnerable, and they're always vulnerable to fire. Also, the partially armored zombie, very similar to the regular armored zombie, they only have about 1,000 health, very much so like a regular zombie does. But they make up for it by having all that armor all over their body. And they're really difficult to hit if you berserk them and then control them, because they wiggle around like this, so it's really hard to get a good accurate shot on them, which is where a lot of their value comes in. And now the cards that we just covered that Daniel has by default are the ones that he will share with everyone. He'll share them with Annette, he'll share them with Alex, and he'll share them with Spencer. He also has a couple more default cards that are unique to him. We talked about this earlier. The Area 2 and Area 3 cards are unique to Daniel, only he can get them. His default card for Area 2 is the Dealer Regen, which is just a dealer, and then it also has the Enhancer Regen tacked onto it. At level 14, he also gets the Detonator Berserker, and now you should be familiar with detonators based off of what Sefka explained to you earlier. The only difference with this one is that it comes pre-infused with the Berserker aura, which means he runs real fast. And now Daniel's cards that he unlocks at level 7, level 13, level 19, and level 25 are the Dealer, the Enhancer Regen, the Jester, and the Lockdown Trap. Now I'm going to go into practice mode here to show you a little bit about these cards. So the first thing I want to show you here is the Dealer. Take a look at the Dealer, put it down.
This is a zombie.
When you control it, you'll see that there's Claw, Grab, and Claw Slash.
You understand me.
Now, something to know about the Dealers. When you use the Dealer, it's like a regular zombie, except it looks so pretty when it's wearing pink. It's like a regular zombie, except it has an extra attack called Claw Slash. Now, you're not going to see this because I'm in the perspective of the Mastermind, but I can go and jump with Claw Slash. And every single swipe that I do, with this attack specifically, causes the survivor to lose umbrella credits. A regular Claw does not do that. A regular Bite does not do that. The Bite at the end of Claw Slash does not do that. It is every swipe that connects with the Claw Slash attack. It'll cause 10 credits per swipe to be lost, up to a total of 40 credits. So you can use this to affect their economy. I wouldn't rely on this type of thing to be the economy buster, but it can be something that is a nice perk. One other thing to know about Claw Slash is it makes you run real fast. You don't even need to be berserked. But if you don't jump on anybody, it's eventually going to jump for you. So So you're gonna commit to that type of action. If you wanna make yourself jump earlier, just press the button again and then it'll work. For Daniel's level 13 skill, he gets Enhancer Regen, which is really nice for a lot of builds because it helps your zombies heal. You shoot at your zombie, then he'll start ticking green. Every time he ticks, that means he heals, and this can make it so your zombies just last a lot longer. So now onto the Jester. If you're afraid of clowns, he's perfect for you. You unlock him at level 19 with Daniel, and he has a special ability called Screech. And go take a look at Valerie in the background, and you'll get an idea of what it does. So it's a crowd control. I recover before they recover, so it lets me get some swipes in or some bites in. Nice way to combo up with the one bite build on Daniel. Nice way just to get some extra attacks in. Oh, do I have one bite Daniel already on? Oh, dude, maybe I did. Anywho, it's a way to go ahead and crowd control wins games. He also has a basic claw and a basic grab. He will scream on his own, so you don't have to make them manually scream. I'm pretty sure they can scream on their own, and then you control them, and then you make them scream again because you won't have to deal with the cooldown. So that's something to keep in mind. And then also, when you do try to scream, I'm gonna press the button here. You see how it takes a little bit from the charge up? So don't just think you can press the button and you instantly scream. It's gonna take you a second or two to go ahead and actually scream, so you gotta time it properly. And then for the level 25 skill, it's a lockdown trap. I can't really show it to you because she's not gonna walk on it, but I can tell you what it does. It's gonna lock your doors. You step on a trap, boom, everything locks. Every door on the map's gonna lock. This is unique, especially with Spencer, because he has a skill that allows every single door to be locked at level 3 anytime it's locked. So if you step on one of these with Spencer, it's gonna be a level 3 lock on every single door on the map. That could be useful as Spencer. Keep in mind, Spencer also benefits from locking doors manually because he regenerates bioenergy that way. So it's really up to you how you want to handle that. So now I want to show you the armored zombie versus the partially armored zombie, but I want to show you a trick first. So anytime you spawn into area 2 or area 3, you get a special card for that area. Now the first card that you're going to have spawn after you spend a card in a new area is going to be the unique card. Meaning that if I spend any of these cards, the first card that's going to pop up is going to be Daniel's armored zombie because that's the card that's unique to him in area 3. So watch, Tracker Mine, blam, armored zombie. You can guarantee that with every single Mastermind, the first card you're going to get in a new area is their unique card. So that can be something that you use to strategize when you're trying to figure out where you want to put your stuff right before the survivors come charging out at you. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the armored zombie here. Oh, cool, partially armored zombie. So the armored zombie, you can see him, he's armored all over the place. Only area he's vulnerable is the padding on his back, but you can't hit him in the head, you can't hit him in the front, you can't hit him anywhere other than the back or with explosives. Now with the partially armored zombie, I wonder, let's take a look here. I'm gonna cancel out and go back in. So it seems like I'm gonna get the same one every time. I can't just do this and fake one through, but you can see his arms exposed. If he spawns in, it might even be different.
That's Phil.
No, it's still the same.
Die?
It's Phil. So his arm and his leg are exposed on his right side. Every single time you do a zombie, it's gonna be different. Or a partially armored zombie, it's gonna be different. And then, to go back to Enhancer Regen, if you place it on these guys, I think it's based off of their max health. So on a tough zombie, it would heal more. If you're using equipment to boost the health of your zombies, it'll be even more. So you can use that to synergize and use that to your advantage. So now that we have covered Daniel, it's time to talk about Alex. So once Daniel reaches level 5, you unlock Alex. When you unlock Alex, you're going to get a bunch of cards for everyone, just like you do whenever you lock any other Mastermind. The cards you're going to get with Alex, right when you unlock her, include Zombie Infectious, Highly Explosive Landmine, and then also Enhancer Infection. The other default cards that come with Alex include the Virus Mine and the Efficiency mod for Infection. Area 2 is the Virus Mine. It's a trap you step on, a big poof of infection comes out, and it usually raises the infection level of the survivors by at least a point. And then her area 3 is Efficiency mod Infection, so any cards related to infection are going to cost 1 less. So Infectious Zombie, Infectious Tough Zombie, that type of thing. At level 14, Alex unlocks the Triple Mine for the area 2, and at level 19, she unlocks the Jester Camouflaged for area 3. And to repeat, area 2 and area 3 cards are exclusive to that Mastermind. So we know that the default cards that she gives are the Zombie Infectious, Highly Explosive Mind, and the Enhancer Infection. The cards that she unlocks at level 7, 13, 19, and 25 go Tough Zombie Infectious at level 7, Immobilizing Rounds. I know you all want the Immobilizing Rounds. They're so amazing. Immobilizing Rounds at level 13 on Alex, Efficiency mod for Traps at level 19 on Alex, and Energy Booster Traps at level 25 on Alex. Now off to the lab. So I don't think I really need to show you anything with Zombie Infectious. Zombie Infectious is the same as Dealer Regen. It's the same as Detonator Berserker. It's basically just a pre-enhanced zombie. Something to know about infection, though, is that anything in the aura is constantly getting infected. If the zombie's infectious, they're going to do more infection damage if they claw or bite. And also, one thing, a little bit of trivia here. If you look at the bottom right-hand corner, this is the question I get all the time. You see how it says 0 of 8? Well, let me go spawn this guy real quick. 0 of 8. Now it's going to be 1 of 8.
Fly, my pretties, fly!
That's the max amount that you can have in the area. People ask me this all the time. What's the max zombies you can have? Well, there you go. It's been on the screen the entire time. Enhancer infection, same idea as any other infection. It's just going to go ahead and apply that effect to the zombie that you shoot it at. Immobilizing rounds here. I know y'all want to look at these. Look at Wagoop. These are incredible. You're going to love immobilizing rounds in your deck. They're such a great crowd control. They last so long, and you can just get away with having so much fun after you goop them. So something that people really like about Alex is her highly explosive mines. So I'm going to show you why people like them. But before we do that, you'll see that they cost 3 right now, and that's due to the efficiency mod traps here. It causes all traps to be lowered by 1. So we're going to spend that so you can see it goes back up to 4 typically. And then also, before we go ahead and put the mine down, we have ourselves a little treat here called Energy Booster Traps. Very similar to what Annette rocks with her Energy Booster creatures. Oh my god, don't eat Tyrone! So if you use that, it brings the cost of your traps down by 1. Personally, I wouldn't use it because it's just going to use up a slot in your deck that you could use for other things. Okay, well I was going to test Tyrone, but he's getting eaten right now, so let's go ahead and put the landmine down by Sam. Part of the reason why you really like these highly explosive landmines is because they do a lot of damage. The other reason why you like them is because they do crowd control. Bam! It'll push people around. You can combo that up into other mines. It'll blow everything up around it. It can blow up a whole team. It can do everything. These things are amazing, and they're very, very shocking when you run into them. So it's a really good way not only to actually damage them, but to also get inside their heads a little bit.
Fear can blind you.
Fear can blind you. And now for Alex's Area 2 and Area 3 skills. For Area 2 is the triple landmine. We talked about the virus mine. Not a whole lot I can really show you in free play, but basically you step on it, you get poisoned, and it makes a big poof. The triple landmine, there's a little bit more to talk about with it. See how it spawns 3 mines? They're always going to be in a line. They're not bunched up. So that can be kind of difficult if you're in a tight space. So you gotta kind of be smart about where you're going to place them. And now if you want to rotate them, you actually got to like do this. You can't rotate them by holding them in place like you can with the Ataveo. Because if you try to do that, you'll just spin them around like this. And now for Alex's level 19 skill for Area 3, you get the Jester camouflaged. So you take a peek at this bad boy here. He's a little translucent.
And hearts.
I don't know if they can see them. But what I do know is if you use a skill, he's not camouflaged anymore. So if you screech, if you grab, if you claw, you're not camouflaged anymore. But you also go back into camouflage. I've never seen an opportunity for them to actually go back into camouflage because they usually get shot right away. But if you can get away with it, maybe you could have a lot of fun with it. So now that I've covered Daniel and Alex, I'd like to pass it on over to Sino so that he can cover the old Oswell Spencer. Take it away, Sino.
Hello folks, my name is Sino, and Swing has very kindly allowed me to take care of the Spencer portion of this video, where I will discuss the default cards that you unlock as Spencer and then the cards that you unlock by ranking him up. Spencer is the last mastermind that you will be able to play as in this game. You have to get Alex to rank 5 first before you can play as him. Spencer is a very high skill ceiling mastermind in my opinion, where you can do some crazy things with him to get lots of bioenergy and summon things very quickly, and a lot of his cards reinforce this theme. As I said before, my name is Sino. I stream this game like all the time over on Twitch at about 8 PM UK, which is about 3 PM EST. And I absolutely love Resistance. I've made a whole YouTube channel dedicated to it as well, and I really enjoy playing this, and I hope you guys can share the passion that myself, Swing, and iosefka clearly have for this game going forward into the future. So let me discuss the default deck that you get for Spencer and show off what those cards do. The first card I'd like to show you that you unlock in the default deck is the Auto Turret Rifle. I love this card. I think it's brilliant. What it does is you turn it on, like you use a camera to equip it with the turret rifle, and it will automatically aim at and fire at survivors for you. You don't have to stay on the camera, and you can't take control of the aiming yourself. It just repeatedly fires at survivors for you. It does the same damage, I believe, as a rifle normally would, so it's basically just an automatic rifle that costs 4. One thing you can do to help this is that by default it will path left and right looking for survivors, but if you kind of aim in the general direction you think a survivor will be and then click it, it's a little bit faster. But let me show you what happens when you don't do that. Okay, so I'm over here and I'm going to use the auto turret rifle. So you can switch cameras. It takes a little minute. 200, 200, 200. They lose 5 seconds every time they get shot. It does interrupt them if they're trying to do some sort of objective. And like I said, you can use M or Q and E if you're on mouse and keyboard like I am, or whatever else you press on console to switch cameras while that's going on. So what I like to do is summon down lots of creatures and then put on auto turret in a location I think that can oversee the carnage very effectively, and then switch cameras to do something else. The second card that I will show you is called Clone, if I get to it. But you just saw me put down a landmine there that costs 2, and then here's the clone card. The clone card allows you to repeat the previous card's action for an increased cost of 1. So right now it's giving me the option to put down a landmine for 3. But let's say I wanted to summon a zombie dog, so I'll put my little Dalmatian down here. Make him do a couple of zoomies. Put him down, and now the clone card has turned into a 3-cost zombie dog. This can be very, very effective. For instance, with Alex, she has a card that allows you to put down 3 landmines at once, which is quite cheap. If you use this card, you can do that twice in a row, so you can put down 6 landmines.
You didn't think I would let you have this, did you?
Excuse me, Spencer, which is very effective in my opinion for like quickly setting up something that the survivors don't want to deal with. The next card that I'll discuss, which you unlock in Spencer's default deck, is the Electromagnetic Shield. So what this card does is it removes all damage that is currently being done to a camera, and then it protects it from being tampered with. As far as I'm aware, you cannot use this card on a camera that's already been shot out, so you will have to be quite quick on the ball with this one. It's easy to try and use it too late and then it doesn't do anything. But if the camera has a couple of shots in it and you use this, it becomes immune to further damage, and it allows you to keep using it to do other things. So I will use it here. So this is the visual effect you can see when it has a shield. And you can see at the bottom left how much time is left with that icon. One of the really nice things about this card though is that if you're currently under the effect of being hacked by January, using this card on a camera makes it so it negates those effects for the duration. So if you've already been hacked by January, let's say she's using the passive that makes it so you can't move your camera. One of her passive skills makes it so you can't move the camera how you like. You can use that card, and for that one camera, it will negate that effect, and you can continue to use it as you normally would. Okay, so the next card I'll discuss with you all is the OS mod. This card stays in your hand, essentially, and while it's in your hand, your cooldown for EIS is slightly decreased. EIS is the method by which the Mastermind can interact with the environment, for instance, locking doors or switching on and off light switches. This is very important when you're playing a Spencer in particular, because this allows you to generate bioenergy with one of his passive abilities, which I believe I currently have equipped. So let me show you how that works as well. I'll waste a little bit of energy in this room. Okay, and then watch my bioenergy at the bottom left as I lock this door. You see how it shot up really quickly there? That is one of Spencer's passives that is very strong, and if you have a high actions per minute and you can flip through cameras and constantly lock doors and switch on and off lights, you can generate so much bioenergy by just playing quickly, which is kind of crazy. Alright, so this is the Area 2 special card for Spencer that you have access to by default. It's called Advanced OS Mod, and while this is in your hand, your EIS cooldown is greatly decreased when you have 6 or more units of bioenergy. And here is the Area 3 card that you have access to on Spencer by default. It is called Hypercharge. Hypercharge is a little bit like Discount. It moderately lowers the cost of skills when used through the camera that you use it on for a short period of time. Let me demonstrate how effective it is in action. It costs 2 to use. It turned that 3-cost leg hold trap to a 1-cost. I'm spamming like crazy. I'm using Clone for a cost of 1 on the dogs. Turret rifle, turn it off again, just so I can keep showing you. Landmine. And then here's another hypercharge again. Machine gun. Turn that off. Electromagnetic shield, it usually costs 2. Leg hold usually costs 3. Things that are 4 cost, we're going down there to 1 cost. Very, very powerful card if you, for instance, are running a kind of creature buff deck where you need like a large group of creatures to be spawned in a short period of time so that then you can buff them all up afterwards. I really, really, really like using Hypercharge for that effect. I think it's very useful, and it's this very strong card that Spencer has access to when he gets to Area 3. So now that we've covered the cards that you get on Spencer by default, I will cover now the cards that you get on Spencer by ranking him up. The first card that you get a rank 7 is Generator Mod Small. This is a fairly simple card. It allows you to regenerate your bioenergy quicker when you hold it in your hand, and it costs 4 if you want to use it up and get rid of it out of your hand. The next card that Spencer gets access to that is unique to him, that you unlock for the other Masterminds by ranking up Spencer, I should make sure to point out, is Enhancer Energy Leech. This is an amazing card, really strong card. What it does is it allows you to use creatures to help get you energy back. You fire a dart at them that gives them glowing eyes, and then whenever they do damage to survivors, you actually get some bioenergy refunded to you. So in order to demonstrate how effective this is, I'm going to shoot Mr. Tough Zombie over here.
You didn't think I would let you have
So you can
this,
see his
did you?
eyes are glowing now. And then in order to get rid of my energy, I'm going to use Shuffle Mod Partial and Electromagnetic Shield. Don't worry, I'll explain what they do, well, at least Shuffle Mod, pretty soon. So I have 4 energy here.
Lesser creatures can benefit from my control.
Gonna move over the zombie over here. Okay, let's just check the energy now that I'm standing here. I am on 5, he's attacking her. Now I'm on 7. Did you see that? Put another tough zombie down here. I'm on 5 energy, 6. Watch this. 7, 8 to 9 there. So this is an amazing card for speeding up how much bioenergy you get. It works if you're controlling the zombie yourself, or if the zombie attacks the survivors for you. The next card that I need to show you is High Caliber Rifle. So, High Caliber Rifle you unlock at rank 19. This is kind of like Rifle times 2, I would say. It costs twice as much, and it basically does twice the damage of a normal rifle card. Let me show you how much damage it does in action. If I shoot Samuel in the leg, 320. In the torso from the back, 320. In the head, 480. And it makes that really satisfying, like, thud noise. 5 bullets in the chamber. Can down a survivor if you reliably hit your shots like that. Very powerful card, quite scary to go up against if you are a survivor against the Mastermind. Okay, moving on to the last card that you unlock. Let me just shuffle through my deck in order to get to this card. And funnily enough, that is exactly what this card does best. It is very good at shuffling through your deck for you. It is called Shuffle Mod Partial. So what Shuffle Mod Partial does is, while it's in your hand, you discard and redraw a random non-mod card whenever you use up a card yourself. Okay, for the other 2 cards, I need to go on to area 2 and 3, so let's jump on over. Okay, so moving on to what is by far one of my favorite cards in the entire game, Mod Recycler. You can only use this from area 2 onwards as Spencer, but it's extremely powerful. What it does is it immediately converts all mod cards in your hand into bioenergy, and the amount of bioenergy you get for a card scales off of the cost at the top left, which is why I'm deliberately using the efficiency mod for creatures here, which you can see costs 10 energy. I'm going to use up all my energy, and I'm going to hit Mod Recycler. Look at my bioenergy in the bottom left corner. Isn't that amazing? I got like basically a full recharge off of recycling my mod cards out of my hand. And by recycle, they're not gone from your deck or anything like that. They are just like reshuffled in and you can draw them again later. Extremely powerful card. Really gives Spencer like a nice flow. I think of all the Masterminds, Spencer has like a really cool kind of like flow to the way his deck works. And I love Mod Recycler. I think it's an amazing card. So if you're playing as Spencer, do consider using it. And finally, we have Overcharge mod for Area 3 on Spencer. This is like the other mod card before, where if you have 6 or more bioenergy, then for Overcharge mod, you increase your bioenergy a lot quicker. So I'm going to demonstrate that now by using up some energy on my high caliber rifle. So I'm back down to 3. Take a look at the bottom left corner to see how quickly my energy is recharging at the moment. And then when I hit 6, it should get quicker. You can see how there's more arrows added to the UI in the bottom left corner when that comes into play. And this is something that really only works super well with Spencer's playstyle, where he can get bioenergy back very quickly anyway. So just one more time to go over the unlock cards that you get. For cards that you unlock in Spencer that you can use on other Masterminds, you have Generator Mod Small at rank 7, Enhancer Energy Leech at rank 13, High Caliber Rifle, which you unlock at rank 19, and Shuffle Mod Partial, which you unlock at rank 25. And as for the area specific cards that only Spencer can use, you unlock Mod Recycler for Area 2 onwards at level 14, and you unlock Overcharge Mod for Area 3 at rank 19. So I hope that's been helpful for all of you in understanding how Spencer works. So that concludes our quick roundup of the cards that are unique to Spencer and things that he can unlock. I hope that you have found this video to be as helpful as possible. I had a lot of fun making it and coordinating with Swing and Yosefka in being able to do this in the background. My latest video on my YouTube channel at the moment is a build guide for Regen Tank Samuel, a survivor build guide. I also do Mastermind builds as well. I love to play Mastermind in this game and I'm super obsessed with it, hence the fact that I already have Spencer above rank 25. And yeah, I want to just say one more time, thank you so much, Swing, for allowing me to be part of this video, and I really hope that we can create like an amazing community for Resident Evil Resistance going forward and show Capcom how great a game we think this truly is. I've had lots of fun playing it. I hope you have tons of fun playing it. And if you have any questions, do leave them in the comments for this video, and I'm sure that myself, Swing, and Yosefka will be checking them regularly to try and help you guys out and see if you can get as many wins as possible in your games going forward in Resistance. Regardless, I've been Sino. Thank you so much for watching, and Swing, take it away.
Thank you, Sino, and also thank you, Sefka, for joining me. We wanted to make this video so that you guys could have a resource to understand Mastermind a little bit better, understand when every single card is unlocked. Because if there's a question that I get more than anything else, it is, when does this card unlock? What Mastermind, what level, yada, yada, yada. And there hasn't really been a resource for it. So we wanted to make this for you guys. I hope it was helpful. Please go ahead and check out the links of Sino and Sefka in the description down below. They're streamers, they're YouTubers, they're on Twitter. Go check them out, go give them some love. Go ahead and be a part of their communities like you've been a part of mine. We're all here together trying to make Resistance a really fun, long-lasting game. And by supporting other communities, that's the best way to do so. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all. And then I'll see you guys in the next video that we do around here.